Hello everybody, how are you doing today? And welcome back to the garden. It's another lovely sunny December day. It is cold though, it was around 0 this morning, so I think I'm gonna spend most of my time in the greenhouse. Let's do some gardening. Yes, that's much better in the greenhouse. It's 12 degrees in the greenhouse and around 3 or 4 outside. It feels really cold, but the sun is lovely, so we're getting nice light. So, what can I do today? There's not that much really. I still have that pesky patch of strawberries to clean, but I don't want to do it today. It's way too cold. My fingers are getting frozen. So I thought today I can sort out my French dwarf beans. I don't think they're gonna do anything more. The frost is slowly killing the plants, and I can use the pots, self-watering pots, to grow some more garlic. You can never get enough garlic. So let's do that. Okay, so that's one of the self-watering pots with my French dwarf beans. Sadly, it didn't come too much at all. It started producing some bean pods, but they are really tiny and they are shriveling as well. Just simply not enough time and heat to grow. It's way too late for them. But that was an interesting experiment. I need to keep in mind when I sow the beans, and next year I'm gonna do it about 3 weeks earlier. But now we can get rid of these plants. I can use the self-watering pots to grow more garlic in the greenhouse. I'm not gonna pull the plants out of the soil. It's quite rich soil. I remember I put some chicken manure before sowing the beans, and the beans themselves are producing nitrogen while they're growing. So I'm gonna leave all the root systems in the soil, just remove the top of the plant and any other weeds I'll see. The weeds I can pull out actually. It's no point risking any weeds in my pots. It's actually a good idea to plant your garlic in a greenhouse. I have some of them germinating here as well, but I also got one more spare bulb of garlic, so I'm gonna plant those ones. As I said, just remove any weeds that managed to germinate in this pot. All this is a pure compost from my compost here earlier in the season, and at the bottom of the self-watering pot I put a layer of chicken manure, uncomposted raw chicken manure. That usually works fine for me. But first of all, let's have a look how many garlic cloves we're gonna get from this bulb. That's one of the bulbs I bought from the garden center. I don't remember the price now. It was like £2.50, £3.50 per bulb. And for whatever reason, I put it in my fridge with my other seeds and completely forgot about it when I was planting the other garlic. Actually, while we're talking about that, I can quickly show you all the elephant garlics are germinating and growing steadily. Not fast, but steady growth. And most of the normal garlic started germinating as well. So that's a good sign that this one gonna grow as well. You never know with the garden center stuff. All right, so how many we have here? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. And I have 4 self-watering pots. What is it? 4 each. That seems like a good number. 4 cloves, 4 garlic plants per each watering pot. Now, that might do very well. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Let me put these other cloves aside somewhere. And we can deal with this pot. I need something sharp. Right, that will do it. So we have our garlic clove, as I was explaining on the previous video, planted this way down. This flat plate at the bottom of the clove is where the root's gonna come, and the pointy bit is where the garlic gonna start growing its leaves. Don't remove all this papery stuff from the garlic clove itself, plant it as it is. And like with all the other planting, just make a hole. Try not to push the garlic straight in the ground. You don't want to damage that bottom plate I was just showing you. Voila, 1 pot planted, 3 more to go. And just like that, with the magic of video, all 4 pots are planted. I just need to give them a slight watering and put them back on the floating shelves. Right, so we have the garlic sorted. What else now? Okay, that's another job I have to do today. I've postponed it for 2 days already. After harvesting all the leeks, I left it here. I ran out of time to do anything with them. So I need to clean them and get them ready for freezing. It's a rather tedious job, but it's worth doing. As I said in my harvesting video, I didn't get any onions this year. Everything got damaged and destroyed by the onion white rot. So those are my onion replacement for this winter. They're all gonna get chopped and frozen, so the size of the leeks doesn't really matter. There's quite a few good size here, and there's plenty of pencil thickness or finger thickness. I already had my leek and carrot soup the other day. That was delicious. I'm just cutting off the tops of the green leaves. That's where all the damage is, if there's any. I've noticed I didn't get any rust on my leeks, touch wood, this year. But I got onion white rot. Thankfully, I caught it in time, so it didn't damage the plant itself. It was just starting to get into the roots of the leeks. I'm already looking forward to the next year to check if my mustard experiment gonna help with the ongoing onion white rot problem on my plot. I never tried that before. That might be a game changer if it works. It feels like the winter is truly coming finally. Although it's lovely and sunny, it's only like 5 degrees at the moment. It's manageable in the sun, but as soon as the sun goes, it feels really, really chilly. But that's to be expected in winter, really. I think I'm gonna have quite a lot of leeks here. That should last me for a year or 2 at least. I don't use that much of them really. As I said, it's gonna be substitute for my onions this year. So it's gonna be a handful of chopped leek per meal. It's slightly different taste, obviously, than onions, but it should do its job. No point for me buying onions in a supermarket if I don't have to. The best thing about growing the leeks with my carrots, like I did this year, was almost completely avoiding the carrot root fly. I had a couple of carrots already for my dinner the other day. There was no sign of carrot root fly damage, nothing whatsoever. So I'm definitely gonna repeat it next year, either with leeks or with onions. They both should work the same. Okay, at the end I got a full bucket of leeks. That's gonna be lots of cleaning and chopping, but at least that's done. It does feel quite heavy. Took a while. I can't feel my hands really. They feel like frozen already. So that's quite a productive day, I think. I got my garlic sorted as well. They can all go back on the floating shelves. Highly recommend creating something like that in your greenhouse. If you have a greenhouse, it saves so much space. Oh, let's close the door. It's getting cold here. It's quite a productive day. Got a bucket of leeks. Gonna be lots of cleaning and chopping, but that's all right. I have whole afternoon for that. I also watered the garlic pots, not too much, just a little bit, to give it a little bit of moisture. I don't want them to sit in a soggy ground, especially those self-watering pots. If you put too much water in them, there's a layer of water at the bottom. So I don't want them to be soggy wet during the winter. The garlic gonna start germinating probably in a week, 2 weeks time, maybe a bit longer, and slowly grow over the winter. It's no rush. The harvest is gonna be May, June. It's 15.5 degrees in a greenhouse at the moment. And only 3 degrees outside, even in the sun. So it's not the most pleasant day to do gardening, but thanks God I have the greenhouse, so it's nice and cozy. There's not much else to do really here in the greenhouse. Everything is doing well, growing slowly. The mizuna, radish, lettuce, it's all going very, very slow, but it's going. The broad beans I sowed the other day, must be about a week now. There's still no sign of germination yet, but I don't see any disturbance in the pot, so fingers crossed there's no mice here as well. And everything is going well. We'll see. But yeah, I think that's it for my winter gardening day. Bit of a continuation from previous video. Thank you very much for joining me on this cold sunny day, and I'll see you back in the garden very soon. Bye.